This, my friends, is the playbook.
NFC East time. Sage, I'm going to start with you.
All right.
Hit us. NFC East, who you got?
I'll start with last place.
Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Goldfine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PLAYBOOKSPORTS on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video.
I actually just switched it, but I'm going to go with the New York Giants right there.
Ooh, okay.
I don't like the way you looked at me right there. I'm going with the New York Giants right there. I mean, Danny Dimes, he was out last year. You know, what was the plan? And he got paid. You know?
He grew a beard.
He got paid.
Kay Adams stuttering.
And I do love Malik Neighbors.
Me
but
too.
I feel like you traded out Saquon for Malik Neighbors, and now you have someone to build your offense around, but that's all you got.
Yeah.
You know?
And he's hurt right now.
I do think that they have one of the top 5 defensive lines in the league.
Yes.
Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns,
and Kayvon Thibodeau.
Kayvon Thibodeau
Is insane. That's insane.
Absolutely wild. That can win them games alone,
It could.
honestly. But everywhere else is kind of sad. And sorry.
Very bad.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So that's why I'm going to put them in last. If you're banking on your defensive line to win games for you, you're not winning games.
So you're in trouble.
Ask Washington how that went with Chase Young
Yeah, all
and
the
Jonathan
best
Allen
defensive line
and
ever.
Deron Payne and these insane
Never won
defensive
more than
line.
eight games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
garbage team.
Speaking of Washington,
Yeah.
Washington, I got third right
Mhm.
here. I think Jaden Daniels. I think he's a guy. I think he's a guy to watch for sure.
He's got a weird elbow.
He doesn't.
throws me off, man. I just can't get into
Wait
it.
till he starts throwing those.
I know. Well, that thing's sharp. That's a weapon.
But I loved what they did in the draft. The entire draft, I think they had a great one.
They did.
Mike
They
Sanistril,
did.
I think, could be Defensive Rookie of the Year
Yeah.
as nickel because he is just pound for pound. A lot of GMs said the best player in the draft.
Mhm.
He just was small,
Just a
like
little guy.
5'10",
Yeah.
You know,
He's a clamp.
he's a clamp.
He's a clamp.
So I love that pick. I love Ben Sinnott.
Mhm.
Jaden Daniels, obviously, and he's got Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dodson. He's got good people to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
And then their defense, Dan Quinn came in, and if he can just get their defense mediocre,
Yeah.
they will have a solid year. You know, 7-10. I'll take that.
Okay.
You know, I'll take 7-10 from the Washington Commanders right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping Jaden Daniels does well. And then second place, I got the Cowboys.
Mhm.
They just don't have anyone besides CeeDee Lamb. Brandon Cooks is kind of cooked.
Yeah, he's cooked. He's for sure cooked.
Brandon Cooks is cooked.
He is cooked.
Yeah.
And then Rico Dowdle, no faith.
No.
I mean,
Zeke, dude. Zeke.
Zeke. I got a bold
The
prediction
ghost
for
of
Zeke
Zeke.
later. I got a bold prediction
Oh,
for
God.
Zeke later. All right,
Okay.
just you wait. But CeeDee Lamb, he's the number 1 receiver in my eyes.
Yeah.
I think CeeDee Lamb's the best receiver in the league. And I think Dak Prescott is top 5-6 quarterback in the league. But unfortunately, that's all you have aside from Michael Parsons and 2 guys in the secondary. I mean, there's not depth. I would like more depth, you know?
Yeah.
And they're not even paying those guys. Are those guys trying as hard as they want, you know? Are they going to have CD? Are they going to trade CD? What's going to happen? Like, nobody knows. Apparently, Jerry Jones, I heard stories that he's making choices without confronting anybody.
I hate that. He needs to go.
He traded
off
for
his
Trey
meds.
Lance, didn't
He's
tell Mike
off his
McCarthy.
meds.
Off his meds.
It's on a manic
Man,
episode.
senile. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, number 1. I think this might be one of the weaker divisions in the entire league right here. And the Eagles might win this with 10 wins right here. I could see that happening for sure.
Right.
Just because the Eagles, they did at least try to fix their secondary,
Yeah, they
you know? And they're good at trying. Sometimes it doesn't all work
I
out.
love their draft. Quinion Mitchell
Yeah.
and Cooper DeJean. Those are 2 starters. Day one. Day one
Agreed.
starters.
Agreed. They have absolutely, a powerhouse of an offensive line. Their defensive line is always solid. I don't have to worry about that. Jalen Hurts, and then the weapons that they have: AJ Brown, Devontae Smith.
Yep.
Parker.
Dallas Goddard. Devontae
Dallas
Parker.
Goddard. They have solid weapons, and then you add Saquon.
Yeah. Add Barkley back there now.
Gosh, all right. So I think the Eagles just have the most firepower, and I trust them to figure it out.
Yeah, and they fixed the coordinators. I think that's a huge thing too. They got coordinators in the rooms. Like they had Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen. They go to the Super Bowl, and then they bring in these other guys for last year's run. They're both gone.
They had Desai and
Brad Johnson.
Yeah,
both gone. Sean Desai.
Former Bears coordinator.
Both gone, and now they've got Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore. Like those are two really good coordinators. Maybe not good head coaches.
He's salivating looking at those stars.
Yes, he is. Yep, I agree. Addison, NFC East.
I'm thinking if I really want to get crazy. Or what?
Oh, let's get crazy. First episode of the year.
Alright, we're gonna get crazy. Alright, fourth place I got G-Man. G-Man. Like you said, Danny Dimes, it's going to be the last year, I think, you're a New York Giant, and probably last year starting quarterback. Yeah, he's going to get chopped after that second year bullshit. And Brian Dabble, you're going to be on the hot seat after this season, even though that I think you have a good...
He's smart.
I think you're a decent coach, but you're going to be hot seat because of the situation you joined. Give me the Giants going 5-12. I really think it's going to be ugly. Danny Dimes, again, is going to have to play quarterback, and when we've seen that happen, it is not good. Number 3. You know, it's Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh, he's going crazy.
You know, Dallas Cowboys. I think I think it's all going to come down to a fiery end in Dallas. The pride on the wall ain't pretty, man. There ain't no light at the end of the tunnel because it's just either they pay everybody, and that is the best case scenario for Dallas, is they pay everybody. No, exactly. Short term and try to win in the next 2 years. And if you don't, your team is probably screwed for a good bit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think the locker room's going to get ugly. I think Mike McCarthy's going to know it's his time soon because eventually Jerry's going to go crazy. The whole thing's going to blow up. Give me Dallas Cowboys going 8-1 like the old days.
8-1.
Third place.
Wow.
Second place. Ooh. I'm doing it. Philly Eagles, second place. Philly Eagles, second place. I do love all the additions and everything everybody said. But it's just the offense and Nick Sirianni. I think it's going to be his time to go as well. It's going to be similar to Doug Peterson situation. Coach gets us to a Super Bowl 2 years later, gone. And he's gone. And I think Nick Sirianni is going to run his time because he's going to be Mr. Yap back. We're all this, we're all that. It's going to be, we were great for 30 games, and we have stumbled since, my friend. And to end the year the way they did last year, I just don't believe Kellen Moore, a great addition, but still, it's just we'll have to see. If the offense changes, maybe this is different, but I don't know if it's going to. I still think they're going to want to be attacking the outside. And at the end of the day, they weren't successful as they could be, especially at the end of the year. And at the end of the day, they're rookies in the secondary. I got Philly second. Screw it. And number 1, give me this Washington Commanders. And say, you said it. It's because Jaden Daniels might be that guy. And I get it's preseason, and I don't care that it's what he does in the preseason. It's how it looks to me, and the quick snap, fluid throwing motion for me.
Athletic too.
If he stays healthy and he doesn't get hit, man, watch out. This guy really might be special. And I sort of was low on him when I was really looking at the film going into the league. But watching that preseason film, man, he looks like he's got a little good grasp of the offense. And again, it's the quick throwing motion for him and the ability to move the way he does with the athlete.
That 41-yard dot he had to Brown right there.
Yeah.
Apparently, he audibled that. And they told him not to. And he did it anyways.
That's cool.
Hey,
that's cold.
Don't get me wrong, man. I'm going to be in a crow way worse than you at Lions third. But I'm going Washington Commanders. Give me, Washington Commanders to win the division. I didn't say the records for the Eagles. Screw it. I'll say the Eagles 9-8 and Commanders are 10-7. 10-7 Commanders win.
Wow.
Their offense was explosive last year with Howell. They actually have a decent quarterback in Daniels. And I like Cliff Kingsbury on offense there. And at the end of the day, Dan Quinn, he got the ship right in Dallas. He's going to get it right in Washington.
And that's my concern. Isn't going to be on the offensive side. I think they're going to be able to move the ball. They moved the ball fine last year. Their offensive line was garbage. It still is garbage. But moving on from that, I think their problem isn't on the offensive side of the ball. I think it's defense.
Yeah, Emmanuel Forbes blows.
Bad. And outside that, and then they lost Kendall Fuller, who was their best corner.
Yeah.
So
Johnny Newton.
That's a great pick.
Yes.
So Johnny
30 sacks.
But again, that Washington defensive line, 30 sacks. Hang on. Let me go back. 30 sacks. Defensive player of the year, clearly.
We're just going crazy on this. Our Washington Commanders, baby. Give me 10 wins, man. Division winning Washington Commanders.
So I've got them in 4th. I've got them going 5-12 because of the defense. I think they're going to give up 35 to 40 points a game.
You gotta have someone going from last to first.
Yeah, someone
It's
does
not the
that.
Commanders.
Someone does.
It's not the Commanders.
It's been a while.
Wait till you find out who it
It's
is.
been a
been a
while.
while.
RG3
Wait till you find out who it is.
RG3
God.
2.0.
Yeah, now I do agree with that assessment, but I don't trust their defense at all. Giants, I got in 3rd, 6-11. Just bad team. Daniel Jones gone. Got to figure out the quarterback room. Like it was a 2-year, $80 million deal. This is year number 2. They're going to cut him after the season because he's not worth $40 million a year. What are we doing? He's not worth $40 million a year. 3rd place, I got the Dallas Cowboys for the 3rd or 4th straight year, going 12-5 though. Last year, who'd they have as weapons other than CeeDee Lamb? Nobody.
Ferguson.
He's still there.
Yeah, no.
But he's still right. So like
yeah.
we're up. Like, the weapons aren't good outside of CeeDee Lamb. They weren't good last year outside of CeeDee Lamb. They won 12 games.
Gallup.
Yeah, I retired. Michael Gallup
Yeah,
retired.
Amari
Michael
Cooper's
Gallup.
decision was really bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
Play Gallup over him.
Oh, if they still had Cooper.
But Tony Pollard last year was mega disappointing. So can Rico Dowdle do what Tony Pollard did? Why not? Offensive line is still going to be good. Brought in Tyler Guyton. They're going to get Trevon Diggs back for a full season. He was out all year last year. Out the whole year. Another year for Deron Bland to continue to intercept the ball and take it back to the house.
I will say, I didn't even bring it up, but how many? Yeah, what, 7 or 6?
6 pick sixes?
That's
At least
huge,
6.
man.
That's huge.
You
Huge
don't
in
get
games.
those with those
Agreed.
Sure.
I think, obviously, if like Micah Parsons comes out and says, I'm not playing until you pay me, if CeeDee Lamb doesn't show up, that's the season. That's huge because you can't lose those guys. But assuming they play, I think Cowboys are going to be just like they were last year. I don't see any like appreciable differences to where they don't win 12 games or 10 games, at least 10 games. I do have them losing the tiebreaker, though, to the Philadelphia Eagles on something. I don't know what, but nobody has repeated championship in this division since 2003-2004. So I don't know what the tiebreaker will be.
The Eagles?
Yeah, Eagles did it in 2003-2004. But no one else has repeated here since then. So that's why I'm going to go with the Eagles to win the division here at 12-5. Same record as the Cowboys. But I'm apparently much more of a believer in the Cowboys than you fellas are. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be unguardable again. Like, he was straight up unstoppable.
I can see 2K.
Yeah, I could see 2,000 yards for him. I really could. And Dak Prescott's like, you know what? I'll play for $59 million this year, and then you guys are screwed next year. And you're right, 2025, the Cowboys may be fucked.
Yeah.
But the 2024 Dallas Cowboys are going to be just as good as the 2023 Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's because it's the same team. It's the same team. I believe in them. I think the Cowboys are going to be very solid again this year. Colin, tell us about the NFC East.
Yeah, I have the Giants in 4th here. 6-11 is where I got them at. Danny Dimes, not great. Losing their best player, Saquon, not great. Although their D-line
Bring
is
in Brian Burns.
Their D-line overpaid hugely for them.
Massive contract.
As far as like the extension.
Dexter Lawrence is awesome.
He's different.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Commanders I have here in 3rd at 7-10. Or I'm sorry, the Washington Cowboys I have here in 3rd at 7-10.
Tyler Linderbaum.
Biadish.
Thank you. Linderbaum's right. Sorry.
And they got a few defensive guys as well. Of course,
yeah.
Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Some of the
Those
depth
guys.
that Dallas didn't have already. They lost even more of that depth that they didn't have to Washington. 2nd, I do have Dallas here 2nd. Nate, you said it. No team's repeated division champ, which is crazy. Dallas has won 12 games 3 straight years and didn't win the division that year in the middle.
That's crazy.
Because Philly had the best year ever.
15-2.
Yeah, something like that. Crazy. Dallas 3rd, I have them 10-7. I think they regressed 2 games. Once again, a couple pick sixes don't go their way last year. They probably lose to Seattle. I'm sure they
Maybe
lose
lose
another
the Detroit game.
Lose the Detroit game as well. Which they should have anyways.
Yeah.
First, I do have Philly 12-5. I think they're the 1 seed in the East.
I think they're the best team in the
one seed in the NFC.
I think they're the best team in the NFC this year.
I think they dominate. We've talked about it with the addition of Saquon. Their coordinators, Kellen Moore, I think is one of the better offensive coordinators in this league.
Yeah.
I think this is going to look a lot like that 2019-2020 Dallas Cowboys offense that was just unbelievable. I think
Philly offense.
No.
Oh, look like Dallas's offense.
Right. And I think Kellen Moore, and then you bring in Vic Fangio as well for the other side. I think they're going to be so good.
Their defense is so, like, their biggest problem last year, their corners were cooked all the time. Quinion Mitchell was the best corner in the draft class, and you could argue Cooper DeJean was the second best. And they got them both.
Yeah.
I don't like being a Philly guy, but I really think the Eagles are going to be fucking good.
All I'm saying is with Kellen Moore, this is what, 3rd team in 3 years he's going to play for?
Chargers was a disaster last year.
No, I just said not his fault.
Right.
But
Herbert got hurt. It was Easton Stick.
Cowboys picked Mike McCarthy over here.
That's true. They did.
Maybe there's a reason. Maybe he's...
That's
He
true.
hasn't gotten the head coaching
2.0.
job. He's having a chance for the head coaching jobs.
No, he's damn. He is damn.
He looks like a young boy.
I don't...
He wasn't in Washington.
I think
he was
the
up
enemy's
in
in college.
Oh,
I think
college.
the enemy's in
Wow.
college. I don't
What a
know.
fall
I
from
could be
grace.
wrong. I think I think he's a head coach in college. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I have no idea where he is.
crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, Eagles, Dallas, Washington, New York.
Okay, I like it. A little bit of variance in this one. This will be it's gonna be a good division. I think it's very top heavy in the Cowboys and Eagles. Truthfully, sorry, Addison, not a big Commanders guy.